Hello everyone. A first firmware upgrade for the Modor NF-1k synthesizer. OS002 doesn't bring any real new features to the sound of the machine, but it makes its operation a bit more evident and straightforward in a few different ways. For example, it has been made a lot easier now to assign aftertouch and velocity modulations, and it's also easier to access the different arpeggio and unison parameters. Also, a new arpeggio speed randomization parameter has been added. Let's have a look.
Alright, let's check the Aftertouch assignment first. We have a pad sound over here. And let's suppose we want to open up the filter cutoff the moment we press harder on the key on our keyboard. Therefore we go into the modulation matrix. We select a wire that doesn't have any effect at this moment. Keep down the destination button and turn the cutoff. You can do this with any parameter, by the way, but at this moment we'll work with the cutoff. And then keep down the source button and hit a key on the keyboard. And you see the source jumps to Aftertouch over here. If you hit the key harder, it jumps to velocity. You hit it softly, it jumps to Aftertouch. By the way, you can also assign different modulation sources here, like LFOs, envelopes, the pitch bend touch strip, CC3 mod wheel, and there's also a number of other sources that you can select using the select encoder over here. But we'll use Aftertouch over here. So here we go, we have our pad sound again, and if we press the key on the keyboard harder, it opens up the cutoff. So next, let's give this sound a unison. And this is new. There is a little unison menu now to alter all the unison related parameters. Previously you had to keep down this button and turn select to alter the unison number of notes and the detuning. That still works, but it's a bit clumsy because you had to use both hands, one for the knob, one for the button and one for the knob. So now if you keep down the mode button for a second, it jumps into this unison menu where all unison related parameters are listed up. The number of unison notes, we'll leave it at 2. The detuning, we'll go a bit higher in the detuning, so we're in the 50s. Let's also give it a stereo spread. So here we are now, a unison pad that uses Aftertouch to open up the filter. But we'll also put a second multi-timbral layer on top of this. Double click the part 1 button, now part 1 plays solo, and part 1 sounds like this. There is an arpeggiator playing here that makes some FM bell kind of sound. And here also the same. Previously you had to keep down the arpeggio button and turn select and value to alter the speed and number of octaves for the arpeggio. But now the same thing, you also had to use 2 hands. Has been changed. Keep down the arpeggio button and after a second you jump into a little arpeggio menu where you can set the octaves, you can set the speed. Let's put this around 90 somewhere. And then there is a new parameter, and that's the speed random. Normally the arpeggiator plays in a steady pace, but if you turn up random, this speed, this pace gets randomized. I'm also going to add a modulation over here. We're going to use the random modulator to modulate the FM carrier. And the random modulator is a random value that gets chosen every time at the beginning of a new note. So this way every note in the arpeggio gets a different FM carrier. And we get this nice background bells that we will put on top of the other, the pad sound, together in a multi-timbral layer sound. Here we go.